We return, we return, we return.
When Israel crossed the Sea of Reeds and saw that the Pharaoh's army had drowned, a Midrash teaches that the angels sang in celebration, but God silenced them, saying, "My creatures are dying," and you would sing. Maybe God did not rebuke the people because they're human. They felt anger, possibly relief, and even spite against those who tried to harm them. But angels are divine beings, and they should know better than to rejoice in death, which is why we remember the Egyptians during Passover, because we are not to rejoice over the death of our enemies. As we continue our path to Rosh Hashanah during Elul, the events of last week, which also included another tragic school shooting, a reminder of gun-related issues that are an epidemic in our country. The one that received the most attention was the murder of Charlie Kirk. I did not agree with the views of Charlie Kirk and was even appalled by some of the things he was willing to say, as they were harmful toward others. And while some overlooked his polarizing speech, others clearly hated him. As I reflect on his murder in this Elul video, I want to talk about the reactions, which sadly also included those who greeted his death with indifference, intolerance, or even glee. As I further reflect on his killing, I am reminded of the Jewish value of Rahman, compassion or empathy, as we saw with the Midrash above. If we see the world through the lens of what is good, we will approach the world in compassion, even in the face of hate and disregard of the other. Yet compassion is a spiritual discipline because it is not always automatic. Compassion brings mercy. Compassion cries for needless deaths. And opinions aside, murder is never the right answer for someone with whom we disagree. Cultivating compassion means pausing, reflecting, and softening before hatred takes root, not letting the hatred that pervades our current society define our response. Compassion sees a life, a husband, a father of two small, precious children and a son. And while many did not care for Kirk, this was a human being. Here we must think of the words of the great sage Hillel, who taught, "That which is hateful unto you, do not do to your fellow." That is the whole Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn it. Regardless of what side of the aisle you sit on, a tradition of that very Torah in this moment wants to recall the value of Rahmanis, as our tradition has a great deal to say about compassionate interactions with those whom we deem as enemies. As we all reflect on this terrible week that has just passed, and as we think about the world that we want for 5786, may it be one of greater compassion, even though at times others make it hard to find.
We return.